Inside Out may be the very first movie ever to make me cry, but am I the only one who cried harder in Coco than in Inside Out? Hey guys, this is Frozen Things Stews here, and welcome back to another movie review. And today, I am going to be doing a review on Coco. So Coco came out in the year 2017 and is, well, a Pixar original movie and the only Pixar movie that is a musical, and is directed by Lee Unkrich, the same director as Toy Story 3, aka the greatest Toy Story movie ever. And it stars Anthony Gonzalez, Gael Garcia Bernal, Benjamin Bratt, Alana Ubak, Renee Victor, Ana Ophelia Murgia, Edward James Olmos, Jaime Camil, Alfonso Arau, Herbert Siguenza, Lombardo Boyer, Sofia Espinosa, etc. And so basically, this movie tells a story of this. Tells the story of this young boy named Miguel, who dreams of becoming a musician. Like he wants to be like his idol, and Ernesto de la Cruz, who was considered by the town to be the greatest musician ever. But there's just one problem. Miguel lives in a family who hates music. And so yeah, Miguel's family. The hobby of Miguel's family is basically making shoes, which is something that Miguel doesn't want to do. So he basically sneaks off and play music behind his family's back, which gets him a lot of trouble. So yeah, considering that this is the Day of the Dead movie, of course, Miguel is forced to spend time with his family instead of constantly sneaking off to be able to celebrate the dead, and remember, spend the time like praying to the dead ones and visiting the cemetery, and all that Day of the Dead stuff. But unfortunately, when Miguel steals Ernesto de la Cruz's the guitar, he apparently turns into, apparently his soul comes out of his body, and now he becomes like a soul of himself, or whatever you describe that. He basically becomes quote unquote dead, even though he's still a human, while all other dead people are skeletons. And so he meets his dead family, hoping to, and goes to the land of the remembered, hoping to, no, no, I'm mistaking the book. This was the Book of Life, land of the afterlife, whatever, the afterlife world of Book of Life, but land of the dead. The land of the remembered is the afterlife world of Book of Life. In this movie, it's land of the dead. Yeah. So Miguel goes to the land of the dead, seeing his greatest greatest grandmother, Mama Imelda, and who is apparently unhappy with Miguel, like Miguel's love for music. But yeah, suddenly Miguel actually decides to that he wants to search for Ernesto de la Cruz. Believing that Ernesto de la Cruz is his great grandfather, he goes on a journey to around the land of the dead to search for Ernesto de la Cruz, with the help of Hector, who is also a forgotten family member. But then yeah, twist happen, and yeah, so yeah, that's basically the plot. So yeah, I gotta say to you all, happy Day of the Dead to you all. Yep, today is the Day of the Dead. Well, technically in my country, it's called it's called the All Souls Day. But I know I'll still refer to it as Day of the Dead. So yeah, if you guys remember last year, I did a review on the Book of Life, which is a movie very similar to Coco, a movie about about death, and a movie that takes place during the Day of the Dead, and all that stuff. And we also get to see the land of the remembered and forgotten. Like it like they have their own depiction of afterlife. Yeah. So yes, last year I reviewed the Book of Life. I remember I was actually planning to review Coco for its for another Day of the Dead, like after I reviewed Book of Life, but then I had some changes with my plans, and I decided not to review Coco anymore. That I was going to save it for next year, and I haven't forgotten it ever since. So yeah. Yeah, now, 2017 is one of the worst years for animation, right up there with 2013 and 2022. Well, technically, I think 2017 is worse than 2022. Don't know about 2017 though. But yeah, um, actually, 2017 had so much real stinkers, like the Emoji Movie, of course, Despicable Me 3, Boss Baby, Not Job 2. There was some others I forgot existed, but I think you all know what. But 2017 animated movies are garbage. Not even the former Pixar movie, Cars 3, the other Pixar movie that came earlier in 2017. Not even that. Not even that movie is good. Yeah, I know many people like Cars 3, and some even go as far as calling it the best Cars movie. But I'm sorry, I think Cars 3 is extremely overrated. I don't get the love for it. I even think Cars 2 is better than Cars 3. Yep, there I said it. So yeah, now we did get one animated masterpiece in that year, which was one of the first animated movies in 2017. The Lego Batman movie, which is my second favorite Lego movie, second only to the original Lego movie, and yeah, I absolutely love that movie. But I didn't think it was best animated feature worthy winner, like worthy at the time. I was like thinking it's probably gonna be a Pixar movie. But and we did get the one surprisingly great animated movie with Captain Underpants, which is surprisingly pretty good. And also we even got some in and if no we got some indie animated films like Loving Vincent and the Breadwinner. Breadwinner being my favorite of those two movies I just mentioned. But throughout most of the years, we got stinkers after stinkers after stinkers after stinkers, and also some very mediocre films as well. Mediocre films as well. But yeah, I will admit, when I first saw the trailer for Coco, I was actually not interested in it. Yes, I was not interested. I didn't have any interest in Coco. I thought it just looked like a Book of Life 2.0. I was like, it just didn't really, the teaser trailer just didn't really grab me. But the more I thought about it later on, eventually, and just started to see how bad animation has been, and how like I had no idea which one would be the best animated film of the year, or even which one would actually win best animated feature at the Oscars. So I knew that. I knew that Coco would be the last hope for animation 2017. So eventually, I did get hyped up for Coco. I did eventually get excited for this movie. And yeah, when I first saw it in theaters, I absolutely adored it. It was incredible. This was even the first. This was even like probably the hardest I've cried in a theater, or at least one of. Yeah, there probably may have been a few movies that I cried harder than others. Than this. But honestly, out of all the Pixar movies, I cried harder than this. I cried harder yes, I cried even harder than Inside Out. Yeah, Inside Out is a movie about emotion, so it's kind of no surprise that would be emotional. But coming from someone who has never cried in a movie before Inside Out, yeah, like what I said in the intro, Inside Out was the very first Pixar movie to ever make me cry. So yeah, now on rewatch, yeah, I actually remember at one point I called Coco my favorite Pixar movie. I haven't forgotten, and it is true though. But now I think while there are a few Pixar movies this year, I can definitely say that Coco is my is it a top 10 Pixar movie. Yeah, but on rewatch, I still absolutely love Coco. I think Coco is a masterpiece. Coco is a freaking masterpiece, and without question, the best animated movie of 2017. I know there are some people who say that who prefer Lego Batman movie as their favorite animated movie of 2017. And yes, I love Lego Batman movie, but Coco to me is a superior movie. I mean, just wow, this movie is a masterpiece. And as much as I love Book of Life, as as masterful as that is, as underrated as that movie is, I really I think Coco is far superior to the Book of Life in pretty much over anything. The one thing that Book of Life in does better than Coco. I will admit that yeah, apology song is probably better than all the songs in Coco, and Maria is far better than all the characters in Coco. Honestly, yeah, like it's not even close. But everything else from the writing to the animation to like the messages and all that stuff is so this movie did it superiorly. And yeah, I gotta say, yeah, this would go up much higher in my favorite movies of 2017 list. Yeah, it is in my top 5 favorite movies in 2017. Yeah, I still would put a few other 2017 movies above it, like The Greatest Showman, Logan, Blade Runner 2049, and Baby Driver. Those four are the best of 2017, but Coco would actually be my 5th favorite movie of 2017. And Pixar movies, well, I think it's like 5 or 6, but the Pixar movies I would put above this were Elemental, Soul, Incredibles 2, Incredibles, Ratatouille. Yeah, this is a number 6. And considering the fact that this is from the same director as Toy Story 3, Lee Unkrich, I honestly think that this is his best movie. This movie is better. Yes, this movie is better than Toy Story 3. So yeah, the fact that Coco actually beats out not only Toy Story 3 but the entire Toy Story franchise. Well, trilogy technically. I mean, it's obvious. It's obviously better than Toy Story 4. Yeah, I mean the fact that Coco actually beat out those movies. What an accomplishment. So yeah, where do I even get started with this movie? Like, where do I even get started with all the praises that I'm gonna sing for this movie? Yeah. First of all, let's talk about the fact that this is the only Pixar movie that's a musical. And yeah, musical is one of my absolute favorite genres of all time. Well, technically, it is my second favorite genre of all time. Second only to action. Yeah, action is my favorite genre, but musicals would be a very close second. And I'm actually very happy that Coco is a musical because if you actually noticed, there isn't a single musical Pixar movie besides Coco. There isn't. Yes, there are a few original songs. There is a few Pixar movies where at least characters would sing one song, like Jessie with like Toy Story 2 when Jessie sang when she loved me in Toy Story 2. Like it is a musical number, but it is not musical because that's like the only musical number song that played in that movie. But other than that, yeah. And I absolutely love it when Pixar movies feel like Walt Disney Animation Studios movie. Like despite having a Pixar name attached to it, it did give you vibes of the Walt Disney Animations of a Disney revival era. Like it gave you that vibe. Like for example, Brave felt a lot like a Disney movie because not only by the fact that Brave has the very first Disney princess and probably the most not well received Disney princess, which sucks. Yes. But Coco. Well, the fact that it's a musical, it makes us have the Walt Disney Animation Studios film. Although with Brave and Wreck-It Ralph, it's actually easy to swap them around. Like, because honestly, Wreck-It Ralph kind of felt like a Pixar movie, to be honest. Yeah, like, Brave felt more like a Walt Disney Animation Studios movie, while Wreck-It Ralph felt more like a Pixar movie. So, switching companies around for both of them, I think it would make even more sense. But though, yeah, that wasn't the point. But yeah, the songs in Coco are absolutely amazing. Although, if I were to be honest, I think that This Is Me should have won. This Is Me from The Greatest Showman should have won Best Original Song over Coco. Well, Coco already had its victory with Best Anime Feature, but Greatest Showman, I think it's a little more Oscar worthy with the soundtrack. I think the Greatest Showman has far superior songs to this. Like, like, I think Greatest Showman has one of the greatest soundtracks in any musical movie I have ever heard. And This Is Me is not even my favorite song from, not even my favorite song from the movie. That would be Rewrite the Stars. But yeah, This Is Me is probably the song that's the most Oscar worthy. The song that truly deserved to win, than Remember Me. But yeah, Remember Me is not even my favorite song from the movie. That would be Un Poco Loco. But yeah, Un Poco Loco is my favorite Coco song. I just love how catchy and upbeat and memorable it is. I actually think that song is much more memorable. Remember Me is also great, and all the other songs as well are really good. I can't remember every single song name, every single name of the songs, but I can tell there's not a single miss with these songs. Not a single miss with these songs. The only problem is that there's another musical movie that has a better soundtrack than Coco. Than Coco. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And yeah, the animation in this movie, yeah, wow, it is gorgeous to look at. Definitely one of Pixar's best animations. So right up there with Elemental, Soul, Incredibles 2. A few others I can't really pinpoint right now. Lightyear is definitely up there as among some of the best animations that I've ever seen from Pixar. Yeah, Coco is one of them. Yeah, I absolutely love the very realistic human designs. Yeah, I always stand by 3D animation. I know they move way too smooth, but that's the thing. That's actually the beauty of 3D animation. They actually feel very realistic. They feel like live action. They feel very human, and that's a part of creativity. Because surely 3D is a lot more difficult than 2D. Despite it being AI computer generated, all that stuff. I remember back in 2021, I went to this Pixar museum, and there was this exhibition where they show you like how long did they animate one scene in Coco, specifically the Un Poco Loco scene. The Un Poco Loco scene. So basically, I had like spin this wheel and then for like a time loop on like how on the process, and it took years, more than a year to animate the Un Poco Loco scene. So yeah, that's how hard Disney and Pixar and a lot of 3D animators work on these 3D animation styles. So I'm just sick of people neglecting them, saying, "Oh, 3D animation styles. We want different styles of animation." I'm just sick of these 3D animations. And also, yeah, the skeletons on the dead, the people are very good as well. They look absolutely gorgeous. They look absolutely gorgeous, and I love how expressive they are, despite them being just skeletons. But I think the best thing about the animation is the background designs. Holy crap! The background designs are absolutely amazing. Yep, absolutely amazing. Especially the Land of the Dead. Wow, what an incredible world that is! Just what a world! Just holy crap! It really left my jaw dropping when I saw the Land of the Dead. Yeah, that out of all Pixar locations, from Element City and Elemental to the Soul World and Soul, and some other very creative Pixar worlds. Those things. I think the Land of the Dead in this movie is the best location that Pixar has ever created. I mean, not only from but by the design itself, by the beautiful design, the jaw dropping, mind blowingly beautiful design, but also the way they did the world building. Holy crap, the world building in this the world building of the Land of the Dead is so good. I mean, so much details. Like we even get to see the culture of the afterlife, the culture of the dead, of the world. Like we get to explore so many things from the outside of it. Like when you enter to like deep to like when you go deeper inside. Like you sorry about my stuttering. You get to learn so much from this world, from the fact that you can only enter and go into the real world, specifically the cemetery if your photo is put on top, but then you can't go into the real world if your photo is not put on the it's not put on the your photo is not put up in your house to just well, the personalities of them, the fact that they don't have well, things I already know well. Oh yeah, and also the fact that if you're completely forgotten, you will slowly fade away, and it's pretty much death round two. Well, because technically, even though you're dead, your soul can still live. Your soul will just go to the afterlife. But when you're completely forgotten, when no one talks about you anymore, no one talks about you anymore. Your body, your soul will disappear, and there's a theory that person will go to afterlife part two is like basically dying a second time. Yeah, I absolutely love it when these movies just give an idea on what the afterlife is. First with Book of Life, and now this. Yeah, I just love seeing these different depictions on afterlife. It really makes me and probably a lot of others question what really happens in the afterlife, what truly happens in the afterlife. And yeah, my favorite part of the location of the Land of the Dead is definitely Ernesto de la Cruz. De la Cruz's area. Wow, I mean, just his world. Wow, I mean, it is beautiful. It really makes me want to go there. Yeah, in fact, out of all Pixar locations, I would go to. Yeah, I would. If I were to choose one Pixar location, I would most certainly go to the Land of the Dead. Sorry, Element City, but Land of the Dead is I just love seeing beautiful places like this. It's like literally Las Vegas and Macau level beautiful. Yeah, but it's that good. And yeah, the characters are all amazing. Love almost every character, even like some of the side characters they're all very good. They're all very good as well. It's actually hard for me to decide my favorite character in the movie. I mean, oh wait, actually I do have a favorite character on reflection, but I'll catch up with that. Yeah, you got Miguel. One of the best Pixar protagonists. Absolutely love him, and you really feel bad for him. I know this movie has one of those, why can't anyone tell you what you can do in your life theme? Miguel wants to do music, but his family doesn't want him to. I mean, I love those themes. I really relate to that. I want to do this thing in my life, but then everyone neglects it. Yeah, I really relate to that, and I truly feel sorry for it. And you also got Hector, who is a great companion, and I love it even more when with that reveal in the end, which I will get to in a bit. To Miguel's dead family, dead relatives. Mama Imelda is one of the best characters in the movie, and probably my favorite of the female characters. my favorite of female characters. And to well, Miguel's real life family. Mama Imelda. Wait, no, it's not Mama Imelda. Who was that again? The jerk, the one who keeps getting mad at yeah. I actually forgot the name of that grandma, but it's probably the one who who keeps saying no music, no music, and yeah, the one who says that not even not even music in a car, and not even when Miguel like blows some music in a bottle. Yeah, she just says no music. Yeah, that she's probably the weakest character in the movie because of how much of a jerk she is. But at least it's not really a flaw because you actually understand why she's doing all this, why she's an asshole. Um, yeah, and also by the way, am I the only one who noticed Miguel's parents all look a lot like Augustine and M- what's the mom's name again? Julieta, I think. Yeah, Miguel's parents look a lot like Augustine and Julieta Juliet from Encanto, especially with the mother looking like Julieta from Encanto. Yeah, Mirabel's parents. Technically, I'm referring to them. Yeah, they look so much like them. I noticed that on this rewatch. Yeah, I noticed that, and yeah, but my favorite character in the movie has to be Ernesto de la Cruz. Yeah, all the way. Yeah, yeah. Whether he's like not a villain or a villain, he's easily the standout of the movie. Yeah, he is such a terrifying villain. Yeah, he is one of the greatest Pixar villains. Period. In fact, I think he might now be my third favorite. I think he's actually, you know what, I'm gonna say it right now. Ernesto de la Cruz is now officially my favorite Pixar villain of all time. Yep, sorry Syndromes and sorry Water News, but Ernesto de la Cruz is the goat. I mean, yeah, I love his, the fact that he's like a big star, and he's an actor, and I love seeing that, and I love seeing like some of his message. I mean, you gotta play with your heart. You gotta reach your dreams, something like that. I forgot what exactly the words he said. The inspirational words that inspired Miguel. Like play your heart out. I mean, and all that stuff. But then like when we get to when we get to Ernesto's villain reveal. Oh my goodness! Yeah, but that villain reveal. Oh boy, yeah, but that is just sick, man. The fact that he actually murdered Hector to steal his fame and glory, and then Larry became like a legit threat. I mean, good God, he is a monster. You really feel so much hate for this guy. You really feel so much hate for him. Like I think the twist is probably the best part of the movie. Well, technically second. I'll get to the best part. The best part in a bit. Yeah, but this guy, man, he is a monster. He's a huge threat. A huge threat. Yeah, and the fact that Hector is actually Miguel's. Hector is actually the real great grandfather Miguel. Like everything that Ernesto de la Cruz is meant to be. That is just brilliant writing right there. Brilliant. I think I personally think that Ernesto de la Cruz is tied with Bellwether as my favorite twist villain ever. Not only my favorite, well, probably my favorite Disney twist villain. I think that the Scream franchise has the best twist villains, especially Amber Freeman in Scream 5. But and the Ghostface Killers in Scream 6 and the original Scream as well. But among the Disney twist villains, I think Bellwether and Ernesto de la Cruz are tied as my favorite twist villains. And yes, people, I still defend Bellwether. Don't care what anyone else says. When I get to my Zootopia review, I will explain to you all as to why I love Bellwether. But yeah, I think Ernesto is kind of objectively better, and I'm actually glad that they didn't reveal his true nature last minute. They didn't reveal his villainy, and yeah, he's just such a cold-hearted monster. Yeah, and yeah, I still have yet to talk about the story though. The story in this, wow, what a brilliant writing. I mean, Pixar always has these great stories and great messages. These and strong messages, and Coco is no exception. I mean, the writing is obviously good. I don't know what else to say about the story other than it's just amazing, an amazing story that talks about death and grief in a way that is deeper than you think. This is one of the deepest one of the deepest movies that Pixar has ever done. Period. And also this movie has so many life lessons. So many messages. You know about. Remembering your family, do not forget your family, about forgiveness, about like even if you you can't forgive your family, just at least remember them, remember even your enemies. Like I still remember some of my enemies, whether online or in person. And yes, I've made enemies, specifically mostly in elementary and junior high school. Yeah, but thankfully now I don't have any more in person enemies. I'm only saying that if you're wondering about that. Like just at least do not forget about them, especially if you had a family member you hate. Don't forget them, and also don't always also like sometimes sometimes the idols you meet can actually turn out bad. I mean, yes, there are some idols, some people you idolize, they turn out to be a monster. So yeah, just be careful about who you idolize, especially. I'm sure you've heard the phrase "never meet your heroes" before, because it makes sense and it is true. Because what if your hero, your idol, turns out to be evil? You know, you'll never know about that. So yeah, anything else? Okay, yeah. But the last thing, now I've saved the best for last. Before I wrap this up, I've saved the best part of the movie for last. The emotional scene. The scene that made me cry harder than not just Inside Out, but pretty much any Pixar movie in general. And that is the scene when Miguel sang "Remember Me" to Mama Coco, where, well, basically Mama Coco is about to forget Hector thanks to Hector's photo being removed, and so Miguel sang "Remember Me," because "Remember Me" is how Mama Coco suddenly remembered, and how not only that, and how everyone remembered suddenly, not remember but appreciate music now, because of how Miguel singing helped Mama Coco remember. Yeah, I absolutely love that. It is emotional. Like I sobbed when I saw this movie in theaters. I was sobbing, like very hard. Like I even cried harder in this one than Iron Man's death in Endgame. Honestly, maybe not as hard as Guardians 3, or not as hard as the emotional season Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. But man, is it sad. Yeah, I cried harder in that scene than Riley's. Riley, Santa saving Riley in Inside Out. I cried harder at that scene than I cried harder at Miguel singing "Remember Me" to Mama Coco than the ending of Toy Story 3. And I cried harder at that scene than Alicia's death scene in Lightyear. And yes, I did sob at the scene, sob like a baby at that scene. And I certainly cried harder at that scene than the ending of Toy Story 4, which I don't get the emotional impact. I did not cry at that scene, at the ending of Toy Story 4 whatsoever. So yeah, man. So overall, yeah, Coco is honestly a perfect movie. I mean, this movie is perfect. I mean, with its great writing, like so many different life lessons, brilliant world building, gorgeous animation. The fact that this movie featured Pixar's best world, like the Pixar world that I wish I want to go to the most, and probably featuring my favorite Pixar villain, period. Coco is certainly a top tier Pixar movie, and this was originally, like, before I rewatched this was initially A tier Pixar movie, but now it is an S tier Pixar movie. And this is now officially joining my top 100 favorite movies of all time. So yeah, with that said, I'm gonna give Coco, no question, 5 stars out of 5. Yeah, best animated movie of 2017, no competition, and best lead encouraged movie as well. And that's saying something because, like what I said, he directed Toy Story 3. So that's all for my review of Coco. What are your thoughts on Coco? Do you agree with me that this is one of Pixar's best movies? Is this in your top 10 favorite Pixar movies of all time? And yeah, so yeah, comment down below, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and stay tuned for my biggest rant on Artemis Fowl. Yep. I want to get that out of the way now. I really wanted to rant on my least favorite Disney movie of all time, and now it's finally happening. So yeah, bye guys.